What's up, guys? This is Adam the Bee's Knees, and today I am proud to present round one of the National Pokeball League Minors Tryout Tournament. That's a long name. So we are going to be facing off against Howlu, Johnny GB. Howlu is right next to me. Johnny GB is 2 over, and on the bottom next to Johnny is Sky Random, the other opponent. So our first battle is actually one of the earliest matches that's going to happen, and it's going to be with Lou. Now, looking at his team and looking at mine, he has Tapu Koko, Mega Aggron, Crobat, Donphan, Celebi, Vaporeon, Haxorus, and Mienshao. After some testing, his biggest threat is offensively wise is the Mienshao. Also, an offensive Donphan could be a problem, and he doesn't have that many Lele counters. The only one is really Mega Aggron. So that being said, so I built a team trying to outspeed his fast Mons because he does have a very fast team with Koko, Crobat, Mienshao, and Haxorus. So I went with Tapu Lele here. This is enough speed to outspeed, I believe, Crobat, Modest Nature, Choice Scarf with Psychic and Psyshock, just because maximum coverage though. 9 out of 10 times I'm going to hit Psychic, Nature's Madness, and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is there to hit the Celebi. I don't need Moonblast at all because Moonblast only hits things for neutral damage that Psychic would hit more, and there's really no exceptions to that. Like I said, the rest is put in HP because, he doesn't have that much priority. If anything, he'll have Scarfers to outspeed me. Or that's the main way he'll outspeed me with. So no real priority. He could have Fake Out. He could have Ice Shard, I suppose, but that's about it. Up next is can deal with Mega Aggron a little bit, and it also deals with the Donphan, a little bit Haxorus, and Mienshao as well. And that's physically defensive Blastoise here. I outspeed Jolly Donphan, or it might be Adamant max speed Donphan, just because offensive Donphan can be a little annoying. I have Scald and Ice Beam. It hits pretty much everything. The only thing it doesn't hit is Vaporeon, which is why I have Roar to roar it out. I could have also had Toxic on there, but and I have Rapid Spin. Now, after I've done the battle, I should have ran a little bit of a different set on Blastoise, but it's okay. I'm not going to share what that set is right away, just because I don't know if I make it if I battle Lou again. So we'll have to see after these next two battles. Up next we have an Assault Vest Tangrowth, designed to fairly well deal with especially offensive Tapu Koko here. This also deals with the Celebi. Even a Nasty Plot variant I can take pretty well, and can switch in on the Vaporeon too. Now, Crobat will scare me out because I can't really hit Crobat all that hard. I have some speed for Donphan because even a bulky Donphan does have base 50 speed as well. Up next I have a bulky special attacking Magneton, designed to 1-on-1 Mega Aggron. Of course, Roar can beat me for sure. Roar can definitely pull a fast one on me, but I have max special attack, enough speed to outspeed, I want to say, the Jolly Donphan as well, just because I'd rather get a Flash Cannon off than just be knocked out by an Earthquake. And Charge Beam. Theoretically, hopefully the Charge Beam and T-Bolt on the Mega Aggron, trapping it. Of course, it does have Roar, so that is a little bit of a problem. Another thing is that this thing doesn't, it deals with Celebi and stuff, but it's a good mod, so hopefully that works out. Volcarona, try to preserve this thing as much as I can because it really does so much work. Ironically, I believe it outspeeds Adamant Haxorus with speed, as well as it outspeeds a Jolly, no, I think it is just max speed Haxorus, which is very nice. I have Quiver Dance, Fire Dance, Bug Buzz, and Roost. I only need Fire and Bug moves to hit its team very hard. I can set up on the Vaporeon, Celebi, unless it has Ancient Power, and I have Charty Berry. Of course, this would only live like, for example, a non-offensive Donphan or Aggron's hit. Otherwise, it's going to hurt. And then finally, to block Volt Switch, I have a ground Savali, very specially bulky, a little bit in defense to take a Brave Bird better, designed to one-on-one the Tabu Koko with multi-tech U-turn, Thunder Wave, and Ice Beam. Now, the thing about Savali is that, A, I don't need any speed, but also you don't know what type it is unless you get right, unless I send it out, and even there, it's kind of a guessing game at that point. So hopping onto the battle here, he brought Mega Aggron, best Lele counter he has, a very strong Pokemon bring. Celebi, which has been able to switch in on top of Lele Psychics before, Celebi can deal with Blastoise to an extent. Tapu Koko, very good Volt Switch Mon in comparison with Crobat and the Mienshao here. And then there's Donphan. So I don't know, I'm a little suspicious of its offensive Donphan because Aggron can set up the rocks, but Celebi can as well, so those two definitely are rock setters. Mienshao is always a worry in testing, and in testing, here's the thing, I lost to Mienshao first round during testing and then I won, but in between that I didn't make any changes, which was my biggest mistake. I should have prepped a little bit more for this thing in my opinion. Just because high jump kick spam is very solid, even with a 4x resist. It does get poison jab. Now I'm not saying that's going to Oko a Lele, but it still does so much. Even to a Tangrowth, it can do so much, and it's very good at initiative. So I'm going to start off with Tangrowth in case he leads Donphan here. Now he decides to lead Crobat. I know he's going to go for a U-turn, so I'm thinking, well, I have to switch out into probably my Blastoise to take this hit. I could have gone into the Mag, but I didn't really want to risk that. Now that damage definitely tells me he is a banded set. I'm pretty positive in that one, so I'm going to go right into Savali because he's going to go for the Volt Switch. I don't have any ground types as he sees. I think I fire off a U-turn here. Very nice that I popped the Tanga Berry on the Celebi, so it can't take a Bug Buzz. Now he switches. I really could have set up. It would have been super nice, especially with the ability to live a Rock Slide or Stone Edge. So a little bit of a misplay. Honestly, if I set up on him, I very well could potentially win. Crobat could scare me out because he could live, but theoretically I could have won right there. So that was a kind of a misplay there. Volcarona does so much to his team, even if he brought Vaporeon too. So he does have the Rock Slide seat, so that's a little annoying. I don't know if my voice got out there. I predict the Mega Aggron incorrectly. I do have Sludge Bomb, and I'm going to go for it now. He goes right back in the Crobat here. So I mean, Crobat took some damage, it's not Black Sludge, so that's fine. And he crits my Magneton. I've noticed pattern, I get U-turn crit a lot, kind of weird. Now, okay, big mistake here. I should not have gone into Blastoise. Really, I was scared of a Nasty Plot Celebi, but in the grand scheme of things, he did not have a rock move, and even if he did, Volcarona could still come in on this thing, and sacking out Blastoise means if he does get rocks up, I do not have a spinner. Also, Mega Blastoise can deal decently well with the Donphan, Crobat, and Mega Aggron, and spin on several of his team because I do have some speed on him as well. At least two of those members there, the Aggron and Donphan. So letting this thing go down really sucks. Also, I should have done some calcs. I should have realized that High Jump Kick is doing a little bit more than a Scarf set would. Now, it could be adamant and it could still kind of do the same amount of damage, but nonetheless, I really should have done a calc there. But still, I do think he scarfed me and Chef, probably scarfed adamant. So I'm going to go into Tapu Lele here. Now, he probably thinks I'm scarfed as well. And I'm going to go for Psychic, and that does so much. And here's what really sucks, because I got like, maybe that was a maximum roll, should have done maybe a little bit more calcs, but that second hit did absolutely no damage to this thing. 34 to 20 to 34 and 30, very different numbers here, or I guess it rounds up or down, I don't know. But because of this, he is able to get up Stealth Rocks, which really stings. I do knock out Celebi, so really sacking off Tangrowth would have been so much better and facing that Mienshao. I do have Tangrowth still, which is nice, but he does have Toxic here. Um, Fairly annoying. I do think he's going to do something, but okay. I really don't know why I went into Volcarona there. I figured he would switch out, um, but even if he went to Crobat, that was an awful move on my end. I really should have expected the Roar because I have a Volcarona and rocks. I really should have stayed in and hit the Focus Blast. It was a terrible play. That was a very bad play. And Savali comes right out. I do have multi-attack. It's not going to do a whole lot, and I'm going to let him heavy slam me here, and that does a lot. I really don't want to take that damage, but I'm going to fire off a U-turn because I have speed. Go right back into Lele. I am Scarfed, so I will outspeed this thing. And his only switch-in is Mega Acheron, and he goes into Tapu Koko. And it dies. A very, very strong Psychic. Now, I don't have Psychic Terrain up, so even if Mega Acheron wanted to do something, he could pretty much OHKO me, and Psychic wouldn't do that much. So I had to switch into Tangrowth there. I went for the Focus Blast, really could have gone for Giga Drain, probably would have done almost the same damage, so not that big of a deal. I stay in this time, and I go for a Giga Drain here, and he goes for the Crobat. Really should have seen that coming because Crobat resists everything he's seen. But I go back into Lele, and I'm going to get another kill and knock out the Crobat. So honestly, it's a trade-off between this thing and Mienshao. And then Aggron comes in between. Earthquake does a lot. I'm going to die to a heavy slam. I do decide to go for a multi-attack. And I was very close to hitting Thunder Wave there. If I would have hit Thunder Wave, this battle would have been over. The reason why I wanted to hit Thunder Wave on that Mega Aggron is just because Parahex could have come into play, would have been very nice against Lele if he could not get off a heavy slam. He switched hard into Mienshao. I think this was a bad play. I also think that this could have been, it was a very bold play, if anything. And he comes in. So it's very scary and I'm very regretful that I didn't click Thunder Wave. I think I'm going to go into, no, I sacked off this guy. And I'm going to go into my Lele, and I'm going to click Psychic here and take out the Donphan. So Lele is very strong. But Psychic Terrain does wear off, and I have to go into Heliolisk my Volcarona as he switches hard into this thing. Very annoying. Okay, I'll talk about the burn, but I wanted to get potentially a burn off and I had Roost, so I would be able to Roost up, and even if he rode me out, I would still have another switch in. He goes hard into me in Mienshao. Very aggressive play, and he goes for the jab here. But I have the Flame Body which activates, which is very nice. So I want to go into Magneton because theoretically he can't touch me. And at this point, he reveals he's not Scarfed. So if I knew this, I probably could have won the game. He bluffed it very, very well, and that's why I lost. Spoiler alert, because in this thing was Scarfed, right? He could not knock out both of these Pokemon, and I was going to use Magneton, and I was going to Magnet Rise, and I was going to wear down Aggron to the point where I can switch it out, or I can try to do something and get Lele to come in. Or yeah, I would go into Magneton, I would kill Aggron. Mienshao has to lock himself into my Jump Kick or Jab. He can't kill both my Mons, and I would have won with Lele. But because he's not Scarfed, and because Magneton took so much damage, I do die on Stealth Rock and Tree, which sucks. I was about to collect Magnet Rise, but I was like, screw it. And at this point, it comes down to a Psychic, and it does not do enough damage, and Heavy Slam is able to knock me out. If I had, I believe it's 1% more HP, I would have won that game. So, very, very close game here. It's a little aggravating that he really did get me with that Mienshao. Definitely props to him for such a great move in prep. It's very irritating. The main thing is I should not have stacked Blastoise. If rocks weren't up, I could have won. If I went for Thunder Wave, I would have won. Maybe if I hit Mianchao harder with hand growth, I could have won. But you know, it's all about a bunch of what ifs, and in the heat of the battle, you don't sometimes you don't see things that are greater perspective. I'm not saying I didn't think about my moves. I did. It's just, sometimes a little thing like a fist plate Mianchao beats me, and that's actually what he ran. Prevent any form of recoil. So very, very good on my opponent there. So I am Lou. Actually, after this game, he actually wins the next 2 rounds, so he's going to move on. I don't actually know if I move on, if I will ever face him again, unless it's like the finale, because we are in the same division and only 2 of us move on, and there's like 8 division things. So there's a lot more chance to battle other people before I get a rematch. Now, this being said, along with him winning everything, Sky had to drop out, unfortunately, and that gave myself and Johnny a win. And Johnny lost to Lou by, I believe, a 1 or 2-0. But regardless of differential, so that makes the next round versus Johnny my technically 3rd round in the tournament. That makes it whoever wins this game moves on, because we both have 1 win and 1 loss, and Lou has 3 wins. So he's going on, and whoever gets that 2nd win moves on. So very high pressure moving on to the next game. But I just gotta commit, can't think of the word. I just gotta appreciate Lou's prep. Very good opponent, very worthy opponent. I am excited if we ever get the chance to face again if I move on. But regardless, good luck to him in the tournament, and hopefully I'll be able to say that about myself too. So in the end, very good game. He got me, and little things cost me the game. But anyway, if you guys like that, leave a like down below. I'm positive he has a channel, so I'll link that down as well. And yeah, goodbye.